Welcome, everybody. June 16th, 2019. Crazy. We're going to talk about some Fear the Walking Dead stuff on there. Here we got. So, wait for everybody to join us today, June 16th, 2019. Fear the Walking Dead, Season 5, Episode 3 tonight. And thank you guys for joining us. Everybody here. Hopefully we got a lot going on to talk about. Post your super chats, top chats, all that stuff. I'm excited to talk about a variety of things for you. And it's interesting that we got a lot to talk about. But, it's just The Walking Dead filming. Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 is going on. Appreciate everybody taking the time to be here with us. It's, just normal Sunday, but it's kind of crazy because some big stuff happened to me and our family and everything like that. And it's just crazy to think, like, last Sunday, we did a live stream. We did one talking about Season 5, Episode 2. Season 5 of Fear the Walking Dead, and a bunch of your topics on there, too. And then just craziness like that. Life changes, stuff happens. And my wife and I, we lost our cat, Callie. You can see the picture over there. She's my samurai cat. And we had a drastic change to our lives, and some people say it's just a cat, but for us it was a family member, and it was crazy to think that our life changed a big thing, because when you have, an animal or a pet or someone that is there you see every day, and then they're instantly gone, it's just a big change. So thank you to everybody who said, support and, kind words and everything there too. And if you've lost a pet, I feel what you had to go through, because it's my first time that I really had to be involved with a pet that we had to put down, and it was just terrible. It was a thing I'll never forget. And then yesterday, one of my good friends from back home in New Jersey, who's loosely based on one of my characters in the zombie apocalypse genre Fight For Us, my book series, got engaged last night. So congratulations to Sean. Pretty awesome stuff. And everybody's going on for it. So thank you guys for, just being here for it. I truly appreciate it. And it's just hilarious. Like, people, I wouldn't consider myself a celebrity by any means. I'm a personality. I'm a YouTube personality on there too, and it's one of those things that I just shared the video about our cat Callie, and thank you for everything with it. It's just one of those things that we had a big change, and some people gave us support, and we supported, we appreciate it. And then we also had people that disliked the video and were really rude and inconsiderate too. It's just crazy to think that's what people are nowadays too. So it's just crazy to think that's where both ends of the spectrum are. But I just appreciate, thank you for everybody there. That being said, I just wanted to cover that at the start of the video because it's a big thing. It's a big thing for, us, and to be considered as a community, a family, a Walking Dead family, my PT peeps. And everybody here, I'm sure that it's just they're being connected with a community, and an awesome community as well too. So that being said, we just don't want to talk about all the bad things. Just had to get that out because it was a drastic change. Last Sunday, everything was good. Life was good. And then, boom, it changed like that, So it's crazy to think. But Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 3 is tonight. I have not seen it, but I've had a couple, pieces of information and some screenshots and some awesome things to, somebody in this chat has actually shared a lot of stuff with me, and I appreciate it from her. Very cool. But I appreciate everybody and everything you've done for me, and just being a part of it, and just being, there for us and me and everybody involved. So Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 episode tonight sounds pretty great. I'm excited to see it. We're going to get some new kind of storyline a little bit, but spoiler warning, obviously it says spoiler warning on the title, so spoiler warning for that. We're going to see the Whitey boy tonight, and that's cool, and it's about time, right? Some people thought it was going to be right away. Season 5, Episode 1, Episode 2. It's going to be Episode 3. And I hope he's part of the story the rest of the season and going forward. Will he be a bigger part of the show connecting with Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead again? I don't think so. I don't think The Walking Dead and Fear are going to connect anymore, besides people coming over from The Walking Dead. I don't know if we're going to have any more crossover characters. And to be honest, I'm fine with what they're going to do here. But ultimately, is the Fear show going to connect with the movies, the Rick Grimes movies? I think that it could, and it probably will, too. So I think that the Fear the Walking Dead show has been pretty good. There's a bug got in here. But I'm hoping that it gets better and better and better, and I hope that Fear the Walking Dead can just be a show that's awesome. I don't know if it ever will be. It's good. It's entertaining. Don't get me wrong. It's one of those shows that it's good. It's not great. I don't know if it's ever going to be great. I don't know if the writers can do that. But they're just doing better writing, in my opinion, for it. So the Whitey Boy's coming, and he's looking for Sherry. Do you want him to find Sherry? I do, because there's a lot of story, a lot of that, a lot of, just like it's been building and building and building. And if there's no payoff, it's weak. Just like if there's no payoff from the helicopter group, if it doesn't connect with Rick somehow, if, Althea doesn't do something big, if Daniel doesn't do something big, if there's... What do you think is going to happen with Logan, right? Are they really going to just have Logan take over his his denim factory and like, okay, he's got his stuff now, see ya, Or are they going to go fight for that place and try to take it back? What would you want to see there? But Francis brings up a good question here. What do you think about the tattoo on Morgan's arm? It was there and now it's gone. So I have a whole video on it. I talk about it as Morgan has a tattoo on his right shoulder in the pilot episode of The Walking Dead, Season 1, Episode 1. When they go to the police station and they take a shower, you can see a tattoo on his arm. Is it a lion? Is it a zombie? Is it his wife as a zombie? And who gave him the tattoo? I don't know, but it was there in the pilot episode, and now it's not there as of Season 5, Episode 2 on Fear the Walking Dead. Is it a mistake? Is it a plot hole? Is it a big deal? It's not really a big deal, but it's like, what'd you do there? What happened there? And was it a tattoo from something else? Some people are saying it's a lion. Some people are saying it's a zombie. It kind of looks like a zombie more to me than a lion. But is it his zombie wife? I mean, it's kind of crazy, they said, right? So I don't know. I'm going with Lincoln that it's a mistake. It just makes more sense that it's just kind of an error. So maybe he said, yeah, it could have been something that he was filming before The Walking Dead, and he was filming there too, and he left it there, and it wasn't supposed to be there, and maybe he doesn't have it. So I don't know, but it's definitely an interesting thing, and it's kind of funny to see there as well. But Eddie Pizzle thinks Dwight's going to have a darker storyline. They say that. I don't know how can he have a darker storyline? It was pretty dark on The Walking Dead. It was pretty crazy what he had to go through. I mean, he got an iron to his face. He was going after Daryl. He went after Negan. He was going for this. He was trying to do these things. He basically went against the doctor, and the good doctor died. It was kind of crazy, right, for that to happen for really no reason. I don't know what else the Whitey Boy could actually do that was darker, but it's interesting to see if it's going to be down. I just hope it's entertaining. I hope it makes sense. Now, Morgan and Dwight aren't the biggest characters. They don't really know each other. They don't really have that many lines. They didn't really interact with each other as of Season 8, Season 7, when they were there with each other. But they never really had the biggest interactions. So that should be addressed. It needs to come around where they talk about that. It needs to be that. But we'll see. Does it make sense? We'll have to just there. I want to talk about Daniel for a second because it was definitely a thing that I talked about that in the Morgan video, that I thought it was an interesting possible connection with the barber chair from Andrea, but then it was basically, a refresher in my mind with people posting in the comments, and not everybody was mean. I didn't take, everyone's person, because I missed it. Some people told me that it was that he was a barber, and I was like, oh yeah, he was a barber. Like, man, I totally forgot that, because we haven't really seen that. We didn't see Daniel all last season, and then in Season 1 episode early on, it was like he was in the barber, he had a barber shop, and that's where they went, right? So you're like, okay, I can get down with that, and it makes sense, but where did he get all that stuff? Did he have that before? And it's wishful thinking that he did all that by himself, that he got all that stuff, or maybe this was there and a lot of it was there and he took over this place. So did he have help? Is this something that he had beforehand? Is it a cartel thing that he knew about that he had, or did he actually take all it over? Hopefully it's answered. We don't know right now, but hopefully it gets answered one way or another. So Mark asks, Q&A, Brian, do you think the lady in the hazmat suit will have a very, very important role? I think it's going to have an important role. I don't know if it's going to have a very, very important role, but I think it's going to be a connecting point with the kids potentially with Annie, Dylan, and Max, because I think one of them will get sick. And it could be that she saves them, because if they were there at the campsite where the walkers were burned, that radioactive particles, and the radioactive sickness can happen to them. And hopefully she can save one of those kids, and something can happen there that she's kind of a heroic story arc. But I think that's what happens. I don't know if she has the biggest part, because you have to take out the walkers, but what else is... Okay, so they go out and they take care of however many walkers are left. I mean, there were 63, and then they found some, so I don't know what's the final number, but what's the big thing after that? She's kind of a scientist, nuclear power plant worker. I mean, she's not some big thing, so I don't know. Yeah, fear becoming Chernobyl. So I have not seen Chernobyl, but I've heard that it's good. It's great on there. I've not seen the HBO show Chernobyl, but it's been getting great ratings on there too, so I'm definitely going to have to check it out for sure. So what you got for me? Good questions on there too. Thank you guys for joining me this Sunday. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do one next Sunday. I'm gonna try to, because it's my wife's work party, summer party thing, and we might be coming back in time, but I'm gonna try to do it or not. But I'm not gonna rule it out. But I'm gonna try to get one for next Sunday, as well, as I do like doing a live stream to talk with you guys about it. So tonight is Season 5, Episode 3 of Fear the Walking Dead, and there's no more Talking Dead until, I believe it's Season 5, Episode 8 or Episode 9. I'm not sure if it's the mid-season finale or the mid-season premiere when it's coming back, but it's around that timeline. So we're not going to get one tonight, next week, and the following week. So we're not going to get the Talking Dead for a while. And to be honest, I haven't really watched Talking Dead for a long time, because it's been on later. There's been a show before the show, and it kind of sucks. Like, it's supposed to be the after show, but they put a show in between it. And you're like, I can see what they're doing. So if you want to watch, Into the Badlands, and then you got to watch that too, it's just like, what the heck? So Talking Dead is something that I like for a couple things. They give you some inside information. Also, they give you a code for TWD rewards, and I have like so many reward points that I'm trying to save up for something awesome, once in a lifetime experience on there too. I want to take the tour with it if they're going to do that again. So I want to know what's going to happen with that. But I do like Chris Hardwick, and that whole thing with him and the whole stuff. Was it last year? I know it was recently, but I don't know if it was last year or not. And you're like, man, so I want Chris Hardwick to be back on this show, like a lot of people do. I want Talking Dead to be after there too. And it's a cool thing that they have that, because it builds for the show and building everything there too. So I don't know when it's coming back, and if it's just going to be back, that episode, and then we get one, and then we get the finale. But I would assume it'll be back for Walking Dead in October. But hopefully we'll see something big in July, and we'll get some more answers about that too. So Xmas Girl 304 Q&A, what are your feelings about the voice of the walkie in Season 9, Episode 5 of Talking Dead being Alicia from Fear? Great question. I personally think it sounds like her. It sounds a lot like Alicia. But was it Tara? Was it Rosita? It could be them just getting out orders to go north, or force them north to make the walkers go away, bring guns, do that. So there's two things. There's things that it could be Alicia. If they want it to be Alicia, it can be. It fits. If it doesn't have to be. But now that we had a connecting point with the helicopter people, Althea, the map overlays, it could connect, because that was before the big time jump. I don't think Fear the Walking Dead is going to have a 6-year time jump, but it doesn't have to, because Rick went away before that time jump. So they have to have about a year time jump to connect with Rick, and it could be. But the voice on the walkie could be Rosita, or could have been, Tara. Initially, I thought it was about the gun, that they found Rick's gun. But it was just pretty cool. So the Dirty Kenzo Q&A. Who is Fear's protagonist? I think it just jumped on me. Protagonist. That's a good question. I don't know if it's Alicia, if it's Morgan, if it's all of them together, but I would say it's between them two, right? I would assume that it's Alicia and Morgan. The antagonist is actually the bigger question. When are we going to get a villain? When are we going to get somebody that's like, oh man, that's what I want to watch, right? I want to watch that happening. I want to watch good versus bad. What are we going to do? And it's kind of wishful thinking that Morgan, John, June, Luciana, Strand, Althea, Alicia, Charlie, Sarah and Wendell are like the bomb squad to be like, we're here to save the day. We're coming for you. Here are these boxes of like toys and water bottle and whatever like that too. And you're like, this isn't FEMA. You're not some big organization. You don't have unlimited supplies. And I could see why they're doing it to help people out, but it's kind of wishful thinking to be like, yeah, that's what they're going to do, right? Why don't they set up a community and set up an area that they can protect and maintain and branch out and go farther and farther and farther and bring people back that way instead of just driving around aimlessly for it. So I don't know. The writing is what the writing is, and it kind of jumps all over the place. It's kind of one of those things that it's like the show is supposed to be the start of the zombie apocalypse, and we never really got a good start of the zombie apocalypse too. And I don't think we're ever going to get a good start of the zombie apocalypse, and I think that's necessary. I think that's definitely necessary, an origin start of everything, an origin story of where it happened, why it happened, this is going down, patient zero. You know, people want to know that stuff, and I don't think it's ever going to be answered. And if you saw the latest information that I posted in a video about the third Walking Dead spinoff, the second spinoff, but the Walking Dead third show, if you count the movies, it's the third spinoff. But either way, it's like that's going to be into the zombie apocalypse too. That's going to be a whole different thing with 2 female protagonists, and it's going to be this, and it's going to be something we've never seen before. It may connect, it might not. We're not sure what's going to happen, and it's kind of interesting because I kind of want to see the start of everything. And I don't think we're ever going to see that here unless they went with a totally different thing. And I don't know. Somebody just pick up my series, Fight for Us, and we can do that big time for sure. You know, the start of the zombie apocalypse, because that's going to be my prequel book series that'll be coming out. I'm going to try end of this year, but probably next year just to get it done right. I just want to make sure it's done right for sure. So that's the biggest thing too. So we got Fear Tonight. Latest thing on Walking Dead filming is that they did a lot of studio filming. They've been at the studio for the past week, I want to say. If they're filming in order or so, they're around episode 5. If they're not filming in order, they could be all over the place. I know they filmed episode 1004 with Michael Cutlitz was the director. He played Abraham on The Walking Dead, and he was back and finished 1004. So 1004 is a wrap. So I'm guessing they finished 1 through 4, and maybe they filmed parts of different things, and they kind of jumped around a little bit. So if they finish episode 5 this month and episode 6 at the start of next month, they'd be around the first 6 episodes for the Comic-Con trailer, San Diego Comic-Con trailer in July. That's typically what they do. If they film out of order, they could show you clips and parts of different parts of the season and just could be all over the place. But it's just one of those things that I'm excited to see how it goes down because it's definitely awesome for Toots. So, Demon Knight 124, thank you for the super chat. My man DK, happy Father's Day. Any news on Fight for Us comic? That's on the burner right now. It's just kind of craziness. I'm still trying to get this last book done, book 10. That'll be coming out in October at the latest. So the Fight for Us comic is on hiatus right now. I might be trying to work on an audiobook for the first book too. But Fight for Us, I'm just in limbo now because of the publishing I have the story. I mean, I could write up a script for the first issue for sure. I just need an artist and a publisher on there too, and not sure if we would do digital and or paper. But Fight for Us, that's something I want to do down the road for sure. I want to have, if not a comic, an illustration book to show you like the Citrus Oaks and, you know, I don't want to give too much away because I don't know if people have read it, but some of the characters, the group, the area, the environment, and just have an illustration, you know, book for it. So it wouldn't be like a comic flowing like that, but it would be illustrations to highlight the area and highlight the things because I don't have illustrations in the books. It's just on for just written text in the novels. So, James, do you think Laura from The Walking Dead will survive season 10? That's a great question. I don't know. It's anyone's game right now. It's anyone's game who's going to stay alive, if it's going to be just... Because I don't know if Rosita's going to stay alive, if Ezekiel's going to stay alive. To me, they're picks that they're not. Also, Father Gabriel, Laura. I think we're going to lose a lot of people here. And we lost DJ last season, so why not Laura as well, too? I mean, the Sanctuary is gone, but the sanctuary could come back at some point, right? What if they did that too? So what if they did? What if they did? They rebuilt the sanctuary and built it up, and what if Negan becomes that too? So my other question for you is, if Alpha gets taken out, right? If I would assume when, right? Because that has to happen. I think that Kirkman is going to have some say in this season, but Angela Kang can do whatever she wants. And I think the Whisper, I don't want to see the Whispers go into season 11, actually. I want to see that wrapped up in season 10. That's my personal opinion. But if Alpha's taken out, is there a new Alpha? Say Carol takes over the Whispers, right? Or Alpha is killed by Carol. Does she become the new Alpha and take over the Whispers? That would be kind of crazy, right? That would be a nice twist for the show. I personally would actually love to see that too. So, oh man. Zane Kirsten, Q&A, do you think that the Rick Grimes movie will be a huge success or kind of suck? Well, I hope it's just a success. It doesn't need to be a huge success. It needs to be interesting and connect, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to be the best thing ever. But if it builds for the future, if it connects the dots and does things, I hope it's cool. I hope that the Rick Grimes movies are entertaining and they do a good job. Lincoln Cade, Q&A, what do you think about the banner idea? I know you commented, but any afterthoughts? So, what do you mean banner idea, Lincoln? I'm not sure what you mean by that too. Oh, think of the banner idea. I think you commented. I'm not sure. Let me know a little more in there too. So let me know what you mean by that. But yeah. Eddie Pizzle, PA. Was there something, Eddie, going on recently in Pittsburgh? Because I saw a couple of different things on Instagram. Is there some stuff going on with like zombie stuff? Because I know it's a big thing with Romero and everything at Pittsburgh and Nicotero and stuff. So is that a big thing with right now? I'm just not there because I'm in Florida right now. But I've actually never been to Pittsburgh, but I know that's a big thing too. So Eddie Pizzle, what was up with Ryan Hurst hinting at crossing Alpha? I don't really think I got that out of it. I don't think Beta would go against Alpha at all. I think Alpha is the leader of the Whispers, and I think the Whispers are being controlled by Beta and Alpha, and I think Beta is ride or die for Alpha for sure. So, but it's crazy to think what could happen. They could change some things. I kind of hope they do for the show. Mario the Third, Q&A without spoiling. I watched the episode 3 last night. I think it was the best episode so far. Do you think Dwight will find Sherry this season? I haven't heard that actor was filming this season. Well, I hope so. I personally think it's going to be in the season finale that Sherry is reunited with Dwighty Boy. And I hope it's answered because I talked about it in one of my recent videos. So Dwight is supposedly finding different notes that were left by Sherry, some breadcrumbs, right? So he's going to find Sherry, hopefully. I hope that it makes sense. And I would assume that they had a honeymoon in Texas somewhere. So if it's Austin or Houston or Dallas or whatever, and it was probably at a hotel or a resort or somewhere. Did he go there first? We don't even have to see him do that. But give me something that shows that he tried there first, because if the honeymoon is a destination, Texas is a giant state. How and why would he just go to one spot? So I don't know. Legancy, thank you for the super chat. Spoiler warning, Dwight is in the episode and is searching for Sherry. He also meets Morgan and they have a little talk. The episode is pretty good. So good, no question. Just letting me know that for sure. So yeah, I hear that it's a pretty good episode. I liked the pilot episode, the premiere episode. Not pilot episode, the premiere episode, sorry. That was a good episode. Last week's episode was a little slow. It was a little building episode, but, the whole thing with the, nuclear reactor and stuff, because that would happen. I think that's the thing that needs to come up, is that the world would start to fail. The power would get off and things would flood and things would be overgrown and things would be shut down and the nuclear reactors would melt down and it'd be a problem. It'd be a major problem on there too. So I'm glad they kind of talked about that and they from that aspect too. Vox, I don't know how you say your name. VOXIK Q&A. Who do you think will get Gabriel's death from the comics and the TV show? I don't know. That's a good question. Who's kind of a coward that would go up there and kind of freak out in the water tower? What if it's Gage, the guy from Hilltop? The kid that survived with Addie and I'm blanking on the other guy's name. But that could be who it could be, because it's kind of be someone who's scared. But I don't think Eugene is, like, you don't think about it, but Eugene is kind of essential to it. I don't think Eugene is kind of the coward like he used to be. He was, and he's kind of big that up, but I don't think he's the same character. So I think Eugene wouldn't get that death. I could see Father Gabriel doing that because he could be freaking out, but I don't know. I hope it happens. I hope that happens at all too. Zane Gage is the guy from Hilltop. He was the younger kid that was with Henry when they were drinking. They went to the kingdom, and he was the only one that survived because the other two got killed. But yeah, I don't know. It would be kind of cool if they did it kind of a little remix, so it wasn't kind of like a coward thing, because basically Gabriel goes up in a water tower and he has a horn and he's supposed to let them know when the Whispers and the Walkers are coming. He freaks out and starts to run down the ladder again, trips, breaks his leg, and is stuck there, right? And it's like, oh man, I can't really get there, you know? And it's like, what the heck? It's like, what the, he goes and then he's cut there too. So, yeah, the other guy, Eddie or Mario, the guy I'm blanking on the name. It's like there was Addie and the two kids, and Addie and the one guy are killed, and there's one survivor there too. I think it's the remaining person there. I think that's who it would be. Is what it is. I think that's where it would be for it. So I hope a lot of stuff builds for season 10. I hope it will. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be a fun thing. I think it's going to be a good season. And I hope Fear the Walking Dead is the same thing. I hope that it just builds and builds and builds, and it's entertaining. And hopefully that the movies are great. And hopefully the third, I don't want to say third spinoff, third show, second spinoff is entertaining and builds. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's not so different that it just doesn't make sense. Joey the Gator, have you seen the episode? It's good how they met the White. I have not seen the episode. I'm going to watch it later today. But I'm excited to see how it goes down. I'm hearing that it's a good episode, and it's good because season 5, episode 3 needs to be good, and 4 and 5, it needs to step in the right direction. So we're going to see John and June and the old Western OK Corral, going to be a showdown there, which is pretty cool. You know, they kind of kept that Western vibe this season. With, you know, last season of The Walking Dead was a Western vibe for sure. So they kind of brought that around. I guess, will they get some horses on this show too? You know, maybe. I think so. But we'll see. Xmas Girl 304 Q&A. Any death predictions for Fear this season or The Walking Dead season 10? So my death predictions early on for The Walking Dead were Rosita, Ezekiel, Father Gabriel, probably some smaller characters. I think Alpha and Beta are gone. I kind of hope they're gone because I want the Whisper arc to kind of be done with this season. I think Rachel and or Cindy from Oceanside people for Walking Dead. We're going to lose a lot of people too, but I don't think it's going. I mean, technically we're going to lose Michonne, but I don't think she's going to die. I think she's going to go after Rick. But Fear the Walking Dead is the unknown. I don't know what they're going to do. But I think Dwight's going to survive. I think Morgan's going to survive. I think Alicia's going to survive. Strand's pretty important to the show. We could lose maybe Sarah or Wendell. I think one of them will go. I think John will survive. I hope John survives. June could probably go. I think Charlie survives in there. And I kind of hope Luciana. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on Luciana, but it's just kind of a nut. It's just... I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of the Luciana character, especially because she's so drastically different than season 2. She was kind of a badass Mexican chick that was leading a group or co-leading a group, and now she's like, I don't know. It's just a different thing. It's just not really something that has really been that interesting to me, that character, especially since Nick is gone. She's kind of like, I don't know. And then she just went away and then came back, and it was really not explained too, so... Donnie Thompson Q&A, do you think June will die? Well, I think they're filming season 5, episode 15 right now, and that I think they're going to be, she was seen on set, so I don't know if she was there not filming or that she still survives, but I think we're going to have some big things happen here too. So, Ramel Brown, there's been spoilers going around, but it was just a crazy weekend for me and crazy week, I would say, so I'm trying to get that together, but I didn't make a spoiler video. But basically, you can watch the opening minutes of the episode, and I talk about it in one of the videos. It's John and June together Alicia and Luciana together, and they're kind of splitting up on the radio and there too. And then you're going to see that John and June meet Dwight, and John actually injures Dwight in the shoulder, but June patches him up. John finds out that something is up with Dwight, and they kind of let him live, but it's kind of like you don't know what's going on there. And then John is getting ammo, and John and June get ammo and supplies from this western town where they meet Dwight. And I'm pretty sure Dwight's the guy who puts the gun towards John, but John and them get out of it somehow. The kids are going to be a little bit of a problem here. Annie, Dylan, and Max, they seem to be something more than we thought from the initial episode. So we'll start to see that. And what am I blanking on here? I don't know. Morgan and Alicia and Luciana are all together, and they're kind of split up still. So it's kind of like the group is split up, with Strand doing his own thing, and Sarah and Wendell have yet to be seen since the first episode, and Charlie. And then we're going to see the Luciana, Alicia, Morgan come and meet up with John and June, and Dwight's there. And that's where the big thing with John, or with Dwight and Morgan, they'll be reunited, if in a way, or they'll meet, however you want to think about it too. So JJ, where was the Q&A? It just jumped on me when I moved this, how it works. Who will rule Hilltop and Alexandria on season 10? Do you think Ezekiel become dark after losing Carol, his son, and the kingdom? I don't think Ezekiel is going to be like a dark character, but I think something big is going to happen to Ezekiel. I think that Ezekiel will help run Hilltop. I hope Maggie comes back and runs Hilltop. That's personally what I hope. But that's the council runs Alexandria, and Michonne and Daryl and Carol will be there. I wonder if Lydia will stay at the Hilltop or Alexandria. That's a little thing too. So some people like Luciana. I'm not trying to hate on Luciana, for sure. Luciana is a character that I just feel could be written in a different way and do some bigger things. But, yeah, I don't know. Some people like Luciana. She's attractive. She's just a character that has just not really been that big of a character. Because, like, in season 3, she just leaves. And, like, see ya. And then you don't see her forever. And then she just comes back. And season 4, you're like, yeah, everything's good. Luciana and Nick are together. And you're like, what the heck is going on with this, right? Too. So, let's see. Oh, no. Grape Tomato Girl said, happy Father's Day. Have a great live discussion, Q&A, and take care. Sundays are Home Depot days for hubby and I, and he's ready to head out. So thank you for being here, Grape Tomato Girl. Have fun in San Diego. I believe that's where you're from. So, yeah, and everything. Happy Father's Day. I forgot to say that. I should have started off this live stream with Happy Father's Day. And I should have had a picture of like Shane and Rick and Ezekiel and Aaron. And who are the other fathers? Not Negan. Negan really wasn't a father. The governor, a lot of people. I should have put up Happy Father's Day. I shouldn't have made that video. But it's just been a crazy week for everything there as well. And we're making it, though. One day at a time, one step at a time. And we're trying to do it. So, Boyd, Q&A, do you think the people who took Althea will end up joining the group? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what's going to happen here. They have Althea. Hopefully we get answered. Hopefully we get some answers in season episode 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, the first half. Hopefully we get some of that. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Althea and that group. And hopefully Althea gets some information. What if they take Althea with her? She's like, I'm here for the story, and she leaves. Do you think that could happen? Because I think Althea would leave this group for the story. She's all about journalism. She's all about her tapes. She's all about the recording. She's all about keeping a track of everything, too. And if she goes, I could see that happen, for sure. Rhett Brown, Q&A, do you think there's a chance Sherry could be with Dwight when Alicia and the group find him for the first time, or do you think would be alone? Rhett, he's alone. He's still looking for Sherry. That's going to probably be a big thing of this season, that he's still finding Sherry. He's still looking for Sherry. And they need to find each other. If they don't do that, that's really disheartening. You're like, come on, where's the payoff? Where is the payoff for this, right? And that's what bothers me sometimes, that they do this, and there's not really a payoff for a lot of the things. And they build up a lot of things so far in the first 2 episodes. And in this episode, we're going to see what's up with the Whitey boy. He's still looking for Sherry. I personally think that he will find her at the end of the series. This season, sorry, my mind's all over the place. End of season 5, he should meet her. So Ron Anderson, who's Wendell? Wendell's in the wheelchair. He is Sarah is the truck driver, and Wendell is the guy in the wheelchair. Happy Father's Day, everybody. By Alicia Freitas. Theory: Alicia becomes leader of the Hilltop. I don't think Alicia or anybody from Fear goes to The Walking Dead. I think that they're two separate things. Mark Simmons, Q&A Bride, do you think we will get a Negan backstory and how he took over the group? I hope so. I don't need a full backstory. I don't need a Here's Negan whole episode, but I would like a little mini-series. I would love that. I would love a 3-4 episode mini-series thing, or webisodes or something. That would be pretty awesome. But they need to show Negan in a better light, how he was this person and that person. And they talked about it a little bit when he was with Father Gabriel stuck in that room, or the trailer. But I would love a little backstory. I would love a backstory of Beta too, because we already got the backstory of Alpha and Alpha's husband and Lydia. We need a Beta backstory for sure. And I personally, I said it before and I'll say it again, I want to see Beta be a professional wrestler or a biker or somebody like that. Versus then a basketball player. It doesn't really fit his look. He just looks like, what if he is a biker? That fits, Sons of Anarchy to a T, because that was he was Opie in Sons of Anarchy. And if you have not seen that, that's a good series. There's like a bad season when they go to Ireland, in my opinion, but overall, Sons of Anarchy is pretty great, and Ryan Hurst is kind of a similar character there too. He's different because he's Beta and he's a whisperer, but kind of a similar look to him. James, will the group have enough people to fight the Whisperers in Season 10? They lost a lot of people in Season 9, and with a lot of characters leaving in Season 10. Yes and no. I would assume that the Whisperers are going to be a formidable group with that big Walker horde coming towards Alexandria and or Hilltop or both. But what if Maggie brings the cavalry with her? In the comics, it's the Whitey Boy, and the Whitey Boy's not there. In the show, it can be Maggie, Georgie, and people with arms to help out. And that would be amazing, and that should happen. And I hope that Maggie comes around and is a big part of the story and saves the day. Voxic, I don't know how to say your name. Voexic. Q&A, do you think Rick's story will conclude in the movies or would end in the show? Rick's story is the movies. He's off the show now. It could be like the movie goes to Alexandria and it ends in that similar area, but it'd be the movies and not the show. I just think he's done with the show altogether. Or maybe he comes back for the very, very end of the series, but I don't know. Our Paras 34 Q&A. So if Rick gets the same comic book death in the show/movies, who plays the Carl role, Daryl Michonne? That's a good question. I don't think that's what happens. I don't think Rick gets his comic storyline or comic ending on the show or movies. I don't know if that needs to be that way. I don't think it needs to happen that way at all. If they want to build for the future, then they'll keep it alive. There's a whole thing with the Rocky movies, right? Rocky Balboa is a fictional character. He was supposed to die in Rocky 5, but the writers, the heads of United Artists or whoever, I think it was United Artists, they said that Rocky doesn't die. People don't die like that. Big characters don't die like that. And I kind of see like Rick Grimes being that person on the show. In the comics, Kirkman's going to do this and kill this person off and do that and blah, 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 and do whatever he wants to do and, just whatever how he writes. But I think the show and the movies don't want to do that. If they do, Rick needs to. I thought Rick would go out in a heroic way and save Carl, and Carl would be the future of the show. But they killed Carl off, and Rick's still alive. And it's kind of crazy. Is it going to be the same thing with Judith? Is Negan going to save Judith? Is Rick going to save Judith? I don't know. It's like one of those things, how it's going to go down. I don't know how they're going to do it. You can't have Carl whole thing. Because if you know the comics, hopefully you know that Carl, puts down Rick, zombie Rick. And it's like, what's that going to happen? Is Michonne going to be forced to do that? Is Daryl going to be forced to do that? Is Judith going to be forced to do that? If it happens, it could, father, not the father, right? Yeah, that's pretty funny. So Negan, technically Negan doesn't have any children, so he can't be a father there, Ramel. But I don't think so. But either way, it's his funny line with Father Gabriel is hilarious. Father, your father, not the father, right? So Xmas Girl 304 Q&A. What do you think of the plot holes on Fear? There's so many. Well, I think they suck. I think the plot holes suck anytime you have them. I think it's just like, what the heck is that? There's plot holes on The Walking Dead too, you know? If you think about it, Heath, that's a big plot hole. The whole thing with Eduardo, that's kind of a plot hole. The whole Morales thing was kind of dumb. It's just kind of things. There's all these questions that I have to have. What's going to happen there? Where did Rick go? Where is this going to happen? When are we going to get answers for that? But Fear the Walking Dead is like, okay, Luciana went away in season 3. We don't see her again till season 4. Just shows up out of nowhere. Daniel, where did Daniel go as of season 4 or season 3? Came back in season 5 just with all this stuff. He's got a warehouse of goodies, area of good stuff. He could live there forever. He's got supplies and, just guns and just stuff there too. He's got a cat. He's got hopefully other stuff. He's got books. Hopefully he's got a safe area for that. I think the area though, when he met Strand, it was pretty cool. I just would have barrels or something around there. I would have something, I guess, but you don't want to stack it up because people could get over the barbed wire, I guess, too. But you could put something around concrete blocks or something around there closer so that it kind of funnels towards the way, or you just stack the rebar better so you don't have to trip. But I don't know. So it was cool. I like that reunited for it. It was pretty cool. But man, we got a bunch of stuff there. Sorry for the lag on there too. We got a bunch of things on there for we got there. Thank you guys for joining me this Sunday. You guys are awesome as always. Boyd, of course, you're welcome. Thank you for the question. Douglas Foy, do you think there will be a big time jump in Fear the Walking Dead? Will connect to the current time on The Walking Dead? I don't think it's a big time jump. I don't think we're getting a 6-year time jump. But so we had about a 5-month time jump in Fear the Walking Dead from season 4 to season 5. I think we'll get a year time jump, and it'll match up right around when Rick went away. I think that's if they want to do that. I think that'd be the biggest time jump they get. So maybe we get another year time jump, and it's easy to do, like 1 year later or something. I mean, you don't have to do anything there too. So. News Live. Why No Talking Dead? My favorite. I don't know. Go ask Scott Gimble, AMC, and the people there. They are the people who have No Talking Dead for no reason. For on there too. So, or for a reason, I guess, which we don't know. Maybe it's not bringing enough people in. Maybe it's not doing anything for them. Maybe people aren't watching it. Maybe they want to push Nosferatu or this show or that show or whatever. But for some reason, maybe they don't want to pay Chris Hardwick or something. I don't know. It's their prerogative, and it's just he's not there. The show's not there. Donnie Thompson, Q&A. Brian, you think Negan will be a leader again? I don't think like a leader. I think he'll be, part of a group. I think he'll be part of Alexandria. I hope he is, actually. But my question to you is, so if Alpha is killed, does that new person take over the Whispers? What if it's Negan? What if it's Carol? What if it's Daryl? And, when the Alpha is killed, a new Alpha is born. So will they just dismember the Whispers? Be like, this is done. Because I doubt everybody in the Whispers, is with that group and buys into everything there too. It's just safety in numbers, the mob mentality, the herd mentality. They're just going to do that because it's safe. But they could bring people in, the Whispers, that they didn't want to do that. And that could happen too. So I could see if they take Alpha out, then maybe that's a big thing down the road. But the writers can mix things up, and I wonder if Angela Kang has anything, up her sleeve. Because there's little remixes, for sure, on there too. Rams thinks it's Sherry on the radio. But I think that time jump thing makes a big difference on there too, because that's, 7.5 years away from where they are now. So they have to have a big time jump if they want to do that. That they can. It's just, I don't know. Dominic Gutierrez 313. Do you think Negan and Daryl will be stuck in a room together during the war like how Rick and Negan were in the comics? I think so. I think since Rick went away and Maggie went away, the Negan Daryl connection has been building for me. I think the Rick Negan situation is not going to happen now because Rick went away and Negan's there, but that's going to be Daryl. Daryl had the interaction that Maggie had with Alpha, and then Daryl had the interaction with Alpha around the horde of walkers like Rick had. So Daryl replaced Maggie and Rick with Alpha. So that's going to make sense going forward that Daryl is going to be the contact point with Alpha for it. I doubt Daryl is going to go join them and like Negan does and go escape and do that, even though I kind of thought he would have a Walker skin mask and infiltrate them and do something. And he did, but it was just to save Henry. Does Negan leave because it's not going to work out and he can't be around Daryl or something? Because I want to see that too. I don't think Daryl and Negan should be buddies. Maybe they coexist. Maybe they have to. Maybe Daryl has to say, thank you, Negan, for saving Dog and saving Judith. Because he did. And that's a big thing. But we still need more of a comic redemption or a story arc, a redemption story arc with it. But what will Negan do for that? I see it being Daryl and Negan stuck in a room, biding their time, and then Negan goes out and takes out walkers and helps Daryl, and they work together because they're forced to. I think that would be kind of good for it. And I'm kind of rooting for Negan to go against Beta and Alpha or one of the both or whatever, how they're going to do it, one or the other. And I hope that it just is entertaining at the end of the day. But hopefully it's done in a way that I can buy in. When some stuff doesn't make sense, and we're talking about a zombie apocalypse show here. It's zombies. It's a dystopian universe. It's an apocalypse situation. Food, water, shelter, gasoline, electric cars, whatever, how they want to do it. Solar power, wind power, getting the power grid back on. Whatever they're trying to do here, it needs to make sense. If Negan and Daryl hates Negan. And he needs to hate Negan. There's no way. If someone locked me in a closet, tortured me, beat me, wanted to do this, fed me dog food, did all this stuff, blah, 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 killed 2 of my friends, did all that stuff, I'm not going to be buddy with you ever. Maybe I have to keep you alive. Maybe Carol says, look, he's a little different, or Judith sticks up for Negan a little bit, or Michonne kind of talks Daryl down. But I don't want to see Daryl like, okay, yeah, you're cool with me now. No. I still want Daryl to not be excited to be around Negan by any means, but he kind of has to because Negan's changed a little bit. Boy, do you think that Tobias could show up in the Rick movies? I hope not. Tobias and everything is season 1 needs to just be erased from the Walking Dead universe. Like, we don't need Tobias. We don't need this. We don't need anybody like that. Tobias was some high school kid that people don't even know who Tobias is. If you didn't watch the Fear the Walking Dead pilot, you won't even know who Tobias is, the kid with the knife at the school, and he was talking with Madison on there too. We don't need another Morales situation here. That's for sure on there too. Carlitos Ortiz, hello from Sweden. Hello, Sweden. Hello from Tampa Bay, from Florida to Sweden. Very cool. Patsy Carpenter at Hilltop when Negan sent the blood-infected weapons to infect them with the fighting. That's, I don't know if that's really a question. So sent the blood, that's really just the thing. A statement on there. Is that like a question? They sent the blood with infect ones with them to infect them? Yeah, well, he kind of to kill them or to not kill them, and then it would infect them because of the bacterial infection, and then there would be another problem, and it worked. That's from the comics too. So Xmas Girl 304 Q&A, can you imagine a time jump where young Herschel confronts Negan? I kind of want to see that, and I want to see Negan break down and be sorry for it, too, with Herschel and Maggie, because Maggie's not going to want to be around Negan, too, but Maggie's not going to want Herschel around Negan ever as well. What would be the deciding factor for them to be around each other if they have to rebuild Hilltop or something? Because, if you know the Whisper of War, what Hilltop could be in trouble here. That's for sure. What you got? Brandon Neer in season 10, will Magnus group all die? I don't think all die. I think we'll get like one death, and I think it's Kelly. But I said that before. I thought Luke and or Kelly were going to die in the Pike lineup, and neither died. So I think this is the season that they do. I don't think Magna's going to go. I don't think Yumiko is going to go. And I think Connie is a fan favorite, and she's getting it with Daryl. So I don't think that happens. But Luke and or Kelly could go, in my opinion, even though I do like both of those characters, and I like Luke for sure, too. So who do you guys think is the best female character in The Walking Dead? Ask James. To me, it's Michonne. I love Michonne. Michonne's my favorite character. Not just favorite female character. She's my favorite character in all of The Walking Dead. So I like that. I like Maggie. I like Carol. Rosita's okay. Rosita was kind of like annoying. She just had this attitude about it. But, she's did a little, got a little better with it. Brandon Neer, PT, Q&A. Wasn't the scene the best when Daryl got in the car teetering off the bridge and fell down? That was some great action. Is that are you talking about with Carol when it goes off the bridge and they fall and then, like it's clearly falling forward, and then miraculously goes and lands on its 4 wheels. But yeah, so Dragon. I live in Virginia. Anyone know where the filming for the second spinoff is? Well, they're filming next month in July, so that's interesting if you're around Virginia. I'm sure it's going to be on the news. When The Walking Dead's in town, it gets spread around like that too, and hopefully the Spoiling Dead fans and a bunch of other spoiler groups have that information. But if anybody knows some information about Virginia filming next month, that'd be pretty awesome too. A1 Otero from Hollywood, Florida. I used to live in Davie, Florida. I lived in Plantation and was in Davie, and I went to Nova Southeastern in Davie there too. So I know right where Hollywood, Florida is. I know where Boca, Hollywood, Florida, Deerfield Beach, all those places down there too. Pembroke Pines, Fort Lauderdale, all that stuff. I know South Florida pretty well. I was there for 4 or 5 years on there too. Pretty cool stuff on there too with it. But Donnie Thompson Q&A, Brian, how do you think Michonne will make her exit? That's a good question. I thought that maybe it's with the helicopter people, maybe on a boat, maybe on a horse, maybe, I don't know. That's all I got. Helicopter, boat, horse. That's one of the things. I don't know. I think that's all I got for options. I think she could kind of sail away and go find Rick one way or another, or maybe sail to a place and then ride. But does she go by herself? I wouldn't want her to go by herself. I'd be worried about her for that too. But who does she take with her? Who can go with her? Is she really going to take Judith or something there? I don't know. Xmas Girl 304, do you think Rosita and Ezekiel are on borrowed time? I do. I definitely think so. I think Rosita and Ezekiel will die in the first half of season 10, and I definitely think Ezekiel will die for sure. Out of the two, I think Ezekiel is more likely to die than Rosita, but I think they're both in trouble for sure. But Fear the Walking Dead tonight, the Whitey Boy will be seen. I'm kind of excited to see how it goes down and builds for the future of it. Some more Walker Stalker news that's not good news is that they did a live stream Wednesday, I want to say, or Q&A, Facebook Live chat on Wednesday. And a lot of people are still pissed about refunds and this, and they didn't refund people for that money and the stuff in there. And now Kari Payton is done going to all Walker Stalkers. And I met Kari Payton on 2 cruises, been to their panels, seen their panels on the boat, on the cruise, and there too. And that sucks because Andrew Lincoln's not doing any conventions. Norman Reedus is probably doing them because he makes a crap ton of money. So does Jeffrey Dean Morgan if they pay him, And the word is that they're not really paying stuff there too. But some of the best panels were the Kingdom panels. And that was with Kari Payton and Cooper Andrews. And it's like, man, that's crazy. I don't know what they're going to do. So I guess look for different conventions where they'll be. MegaCons, Bubba Fest, San Diego Comic-Con or whatever too. So, it just sucks because I used to love Walker Stalker conventions and I used to recommend them. And now I would not recommend them for a variety of reasons. And it sucks because they used to be a good thing. And now I don't have faith in them because of a variety of stuff that's coming out. So I don't know what's true or not, but I would not recommend them. Geek named Joel, great name. Q&A, Brian, Saviors or Whispers? Personally, Whispers because they're more original and threatening. The Saviors were originally a threat, but they slipped in season 7 and season 8. So are you saying that who's more of a threat? Who did I like more on there too? Because to be honest, I don't like either of them. But who's a bigger threat? Comes at a convenient time for the Whispers to come around when the bullets and the guns have all be kind of, the bullets mainly, the guns are still there. If they take care of them, a gun will last for a long time. But if you don't have a bullet for a gun, it's pretty useless, right? And if the Whispers were coming at the time of all that war, you're going to get that, machine gun and that just would mow them down. You would have assault rifles and all that stuff to go against the Whispers. They wouldn't stand a chance. Like they'll be running pretty fast if you have the Browning machine gun on there too. It'd be kind of crazy. You wouldn't last very long on there as well. How will Maggie react about Tara? I don't know. Pretty terrible, but I hope Maggie comes around and saves the day. I hope Maggie and everybody works. So if you like Maggie or not, she's an important character for the story. She's been with us in season 2. She's a pretty important character. If you like Lauren Cohan or not, which I do, I had a chance to meet her, and I think she's awesome. And she's definitely a character that I think can build for the future of the season 10 and maybe beyond if they're going to get that or not. But I don't know. I hope so. I hope Maggie is there to kick some butt. Q&A, do you think the Whisper arc will conclude in season 10? I hope so. I hope season 10, whether it's the war in the first half or second half or this, hopefully all the Whispers are gone in season 10, because they were there really the end of the first half of season 9 and the back half, so it's a half a season. If you get a season and a half or a whole season altogether, that's plenty good, because you could build for the Commonwealth, for the stories, for Rick, for that, for a lot of stuff going there, and I think that'd be pretty great. I still hold firm that I hope we get 12 seasons of The Walking Dead. I think that would be a good run for sure. So I'm going to go for another 5 minutes or so. Thank you, Legacy and Demon Knight 124. So DK and Legacy, thank you for the super chats, and thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. Just want to put that out there too. What do we got here? Andre, Q&A. Bry, is Morgan's other leg ever going to get injured? Just a thought. And will June and John gonna have the first apocalypse wedding? I don't think we're gonna have a wedding of John and June. That would be kind of cheesy in my opinion. But I don't know. Morgan likes to injure his legs for sure. So we'll see what happens with what's going down for it. But I don't know. Do we really want to have the Morgan get injured, story again? Renee H, Q&A, what do you think about Maggie being a part of the movies and Michonne leaves to go find her? They mentioned in season 9 that they weren't hearing from Maggie, and I think she's in trouble. So, well, they heard from Maggie, and she left during certain of that time. So I don't know actually how far and how long Maggie's been away. But I think that Maggie's going to come to the show, and Michonne's going to leave to the movies. And I don't know. Maggie could join the movies too. Maggie could do both. Michonne needs to be part of the Rick movies because she is connected with Rick, so she needs to definitely be there for sure. So that's a good question. I don't know. I want to see what's going to happen with it more than anybody, and I think it could be entertaining one way or another. We're going to find out, and it sounds awesome. Brandon, PT Q&A, do you think The Walking Dead will still film in Georgia? I hope so. I think so. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with all that stuff, and, I think Georgia is such good tax breaks, and they really want to mess up people coming there and production coming there and movies and everything coming there. I mean, when that stuff comes into play, it's a whole different crapshoot, and people are so strongly willed for it and against it in there too. But this is just a movie production thing. It's not I don't know. It's just a whole big mess with it. But I think they'll stay. I hope it all works out for everybody involved. But I just don't know. It's a mess. It's a mess for sure. What do you got here? Q&A, best two villains from both shows. Well, there has not really been a good villain on Fear, so I say nobody from Fear, and that's debatable on The Walking Dead. The true villain would be the governor, for sure. Negan's definitely over the top, but he's all over the place, so I don't know. So, but what you got here? News Live. Hey BT, I beat Days Gone. It was sad. Good game. Yeah, I haven't played Days Gone. I'm still waiting on that too. I just got to get some time together and some 3 solid straight days to play that, because I want to rent it first, and then I'll probably buy it if it's awesome. But I hear nothing but good things about it. I might buy a used copy or something because it's a video game, so why not at a reduced price? But I definitely want to play it, and I heard it's pretty awesome. Brian Barbie, do you think Scott Gimple will die in season 10 of The Walking Dead? I don't think so. I think Scott Gimple's going strong, and I think he's going to be a big part of the Walking Dead universe for a long, long time, and that's going to bother people most likely. I just hope he redeems himself if possible, but he always gives these answers like, I don't know, and they'll have to do this, and we're going to have to do this, but you never know. It's complicated, and we're going to try this, and we're going to try that, and you'll have to wait and see. And that's kind of how he just dances around questions and doesn't really answer things too well. So, and Angela Kang does the opposite. They're like, so what do you have planned? Oh, we're going to do this, and the Whispers are coming here, and we're going to do that, and we're going to try this. And we don't want to give too much away, but, Angela Kang is just a breath of fresh air when she's in interviews. It's pretty great. Boyd, do you think Logan could be just the beginning of a threat to a bigger group? I hope so. I hope Logan is like a big step in the right direction for the villain problem on Fear, because I don't know. I just don't know. They need a good villain on that show, and I hope that they can build for the future of it, and hopefully it makes sense. Joey the Gator, Q&A, do you think Talking Dead will air when The Walking Dead comes back? Yeah, I think Talking Dead will definitely be back for Walking Dead, and hopefully it's back for a couple episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. If it's the first half finale and the premiere and then the finale. So hopefully we get at least 3 more episodes of Talking Dead for Fear. But I don't know. Hopefully, because I like it. I like watching it on there too. So, yeah, Heart of Nixie, Daniel. I don't see Daniel as a villain per se. He's definitely got some villainous qualities, but I wouldn't say he's going to hurt somebody because he could have killed Strand right there, but he didn't. He helped out the group and he did some things, and he kind of was on our side of our protagonist side. So that's a good point though. Which we got here. So there we go, guys. James, where were all the cars and guns in Walking Dead Season 9? Well, the time jump went away. The guns are probably there. The bullets are another issue. We need Eugene to start making bullets, and it probably will in Season 10. The cars probably have no gas, so it's more of horsepower, and that's probably the way of getting around. And Sadhai 7, Q&A, PT, do you think Heath still has a chance of returning, or has anybody heard anything about what happened? What happened? He's in the spot. He was traded to the helicopter people per Angela Kang by Jadis. Jadis came across the RV and found him and got him and traded him off. I'm still waiting to see what A and B means. I'm still waiting to be what PPP means. I'm still waiting to see what all that is. So hopefully it gets answered in the movies, the shows, the spinoffs, all that stuff, and hopefully they do. But doesn't it feel like Fear will contact with the community first? I hope Fear it has a connection with them. I hope that they have a connection with the radio. I hope the helicopter people. I still think that's the best way about is going with them. So thank you guys for joining me this Sunday. Thank you for the super chats. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate you being here this Sunday, June 16th, 2019. Enjoy tonight's episode, Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 3. If you've seen it already on AMC Premiere, pretty awesome stuff. I'm excited to watch it tonight. Thank you guys for watching, being a part of the channel, and being involved with it. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about